All right, hey everyone, this is Rudy. It's October the 13th, the year 2016. I'm in the process of refreshing my memory on the testimony of Gerald J.R. Olson. He is a lifelong criminal, ran drugs across state lines for Hell's Angels. He not only ran drugs, but he did drugs. He spent his entire life conning old ladies out of money and setting up fraudulent business deals and then taking money from old folks, and he was facing a life sentence of his own before he volunteered to go help take down Schaeffer Cox. But this next clip has been edited for brevity. I find it absolutely amazing. What they're discussing is whether the name Hell's Angels should be presented before the jury. So keep in mind, Gerald J.R. Olson has a lifelong criminal history. He's participated and expected to get paid $300,000 from the FBI as a paid government informant to snitch on Schaeffer Cox and the Alaska militia. And instead of the government going after Hell's Angels, instead of the government going after Gerald J.R. Olson, they spend their time going after a constitutional, Bible-believing son of a Baptist minister who stood up for the Second Amendment, was exposing the Federal Reserve, was exposing corruption in the police department. And so they spend their time going after Schaeffer Cox. They've ignored Hell's Angels altogether. They're using people who ran drugs for Hell's Angels. And then I want you to hear this clip. It's absolutely amazing. Skrocki, who is the prosecutor, who is an absolute son of Belial reprobate on a fast train to hell, he actually is trying to protect Gerald J.R. Olson from retribution from Hell's Angels. It's like he's trying to protect him. So, and at the same time, he's trying to send Schaeffer Cox and destroy Schaeffer Cox's life and send Schaeffer Cox to prison for 26 years. I think he actually asked for 35 years, but he got 26. So think about the irony of this situation, that we have a government that's going after Bible-believing constitutionalists who expose the Federal Reserve. They're using drug runners for Hell's Angels, and then they try to protect those drug runners from retribution from Hell's Angels, and they don't even want the name Hell's Angels brought up before the jury. I find it incredibly ironic. I find it evidence that this judicial system and this prosecution has gone completely overboard and got their compass turned around 180 degrees, and they're going after the good guys while trying to protect the bad guys. So here's the clip. It's been edited for brevity, but the context is absolutely appropriate. Listen to their conversation, and you tell me if you're not surprised.
All rise. Sorry, the court, this United States District Court is again in session.
Be seated.
During their opening, they also stated, and they've done it through their whole direct, is that Mr. Olson belongs to a criminal organization. I filed a motion in limine, or argued about this before, about that I might raise the issue of him being in part of the Hell's Angels, and that was associated with his drug dealing. And during the audios yesterday, he talked about his biker days, and I believe that I may reference Hell's Angels in my cross-examination. That's not a prior bad act.
Thank you.
We filed our motion in limine. You've already ruled on that issue. They can infer from it what they wish. But the fact that he was running for the Hell's Angels is not relevant. He's admitted to the conduct with who it could have been anybody. It does not further the goals here under the Sixth Amendment. Okay. In our motion that we filed under seal, there's also certain aspects of retribution that we're concerned about concerning his family. In our motion that we filed under seal, there's also certain aspects of retribution that we're concerned about concerning his family. So that was part of our reason to not go into that area.
Well, we're going back here 3 weeks, and I don't have a clear recollection of exactly what my ruling was, to tell you the truth. The answer to this is the ruling stands. I think that organization should not be mentioned by name.
That's not what you ruled, Your Honor.
Well, what did I rule? Tell me what I ruled.
You said you would revisit this at trial, and that I had argued that it wasn't a prior bad act, even though the government was saying under 404B it wasn't allowable, and I said it's not a prior bad act. It's the name of the organization. I think the jury ought to be able to tie in what organization he is. They substantially went into his criminal record, everything about it. If they were concerned about possible retribution, if that's what they're saying, they would not have opened the door.
I think that's ridiculous. We had to open the door because we're letting the jury know of this individual's background. Now, to use that as a bootstrap to identify the organization is not a reason to put his family in possible peril. These people don't look on this type of topic very favorably.
Just hold on a second.